Hurricaneville's Tracking the Tropics.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Tracking the Tropics report for Hurricaneville.com. I'm Greg Machos. We are watching 3 disturbances in the Atlantic this evening. All of them are pretty minor. No real development is expected with any of them within the next 48 hours, but they are features nonetheless. First, we are going to take a look out into the western Atlantic and our remnants of what was Tropical Storm Debbie. Again, it's still hooked up with this frontal system that is pushing into the cooler waters of the North Atlantic. And as you can see, there's not much in the way of shower or thunderstorm development associated with the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie. However, it is still producing gale force winds in the southeastern quadrant, so that is why the Hurricane Center is still monitoring it. There is a low chance, however, that this storm will regenerate, or these remnants will regenerate into a tropical cyclone within the next 48 hours. Next, we'll move to our disturbance here in the western Gulf of Mexico. This was the disturbance that I had briefly talked about in the Tracking the Tropics episode on Wednesday afternoon. This disturbance had emerged in the Bay of Campeche region of the Gulf of Mexico, and now it looks a little bit better organized. There's a lot more clouds and showers associated with it. However, the Hurricane Center in Miami has indicated that the pressures in the area of this storm, or disturbance I should say, are still relatively high, and right now that puts it at a very low chance, about 10%, that the disturbance here will develop into a tropical cyclone within the next 48 hours. Finally, in the Atlantic, we'll take a look at our tropical wave in the central Atlantic. Again, this was another feature that I talked about on Wednesday afternoon. At that time, the satellite imagery that we had looked at didn't really indicate any serious amount of showers or thunderstorm development at that time. However, since then, it has become much better organized, and the Hurricane Center is giving this a 20% chance of development within the next 48 hours. Development with this system is expected to be slow, so we're not expecting anything to blossom in the immediate future. However, this disturbance still bears a little more watching as we go through time and as it gets closer to the Lesser Antilles, particularly the Windward Islands. Okay, so that's it for the Atlantic. Now we will move to the Eastern Pacific. And just like Wednesday afternoon, we don't have really much to talk about in the Eastern Pacific. Again, we have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity across Mexico, but again, that's over land. We do have a lot of showers and storms to the south of Costa Rica here and Panama, but again, nothing organized, nothing developing at this point. And then we have some more shower activity well to to the west of the uh, west coast of Mexico. Again, this doesn't show any signs of development, doesn't look too organized, and most importantly, it is well away from land. Now we're going to take a look at the Central Pacific, and again, this is an area where occasionally you will get a tropical storm or hurricane. A lot of times it will be a hurricane that formed in the Eastern Pacific and then crossed into the Central Pacific. Some notable storms in this region would be Hurricane Iniki back in 1992. It happened about a week after Hurricane Andrew came ashore in the area of South Florida. And Iniki was a very devastating storm to portions of the Hawaiian island chain. Well, anyway, tonight we don't have any severe or serious situation with a tropical storm or hurricane. We do have some thin clouds, some patchy clouds around the Hawaiian island chain, but nothing in the way of development. Much of the activity is further to the south along the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ. Another note, usually the water temperatures in the area around Hawaii are much cooler than they are in the Eastern Pacific or in the Atlantic this time of year. So development, if there were any disturbances that were to emerge in this area, it's very hard for them to develop or sustain themselves so that they would have some sort of impact on the Hawaiian island chains. There are rare occasions, though, where tropical storms and hurricanes do impact the Hawaiian Islands. Now, before I go, I will take a look at what's going on in our blog. We do have a textual version of what I just talked about here in the blog under the Tracking the Tropics section. I also have it in our Eastern Pacific section as well. Another article in the blog that I've posted recently is about the new Weather Channel reality TV show about the hurricane hunters. I haven't really watched a full episode of this show yet, but I really had a chance to check a few video clips on my iPad recently, and I really like what I saw. It looks like it's a very good show. It gives you a really good behind-the-scenes look at what the hurricane hunters go through on a day-to-day basis during the season, what type of planning they have to do, what type of missions they have to fly, the type of things that they have to deal with during their mission. So it looks like a very good show, and I'll try to catch a full episode of it when it appears on the Weather Channel. I believe it's Monday night at 9 o'clock. Well, that's it for now. The next Hurricaneville Tracking the Tropics video report will be hopefully tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to work tomorrow, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But if that's not the case, maybe Sunday or Monday, I will try to at least have some sort of textual version of Tracking the Tropics in the blog or on the site itself within the next few days. For now, this is Greg Macho signing off. This has been the Hurricaneville Tracking the Tropics report for Friday night, June 29th, 2012. Good evening, everybody.
This has been Hurricaneville's Tracking the Tropics.